Hello everyone, welcome back. So in the previous video, we had implemented the provider framework inside of our login page, and now we have access to our auth provider. So now in this video, what we're going to do is we're finally going to use our auth provider to actually log in the user to Firebase. So with that, let's get going. So the way we're going to approach this is that we are first of all going to go to our register page or login button, and then inside of our if statement, where once the form is validated, what we're going to do is that we're going to use the auth provider, and then we're going to do auth.login user with email and password, and then the email is going to be _email and the password is going to be _password, and these are the two variables that were defined at the top of the class. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to do command save. Once this is done, the next thing I'm going to do is add a print statement to our auth provider to actually show that, oh, either we get an error or that we are logged in successfully. So inside of our auth provider.dart, we'll go to the function login user with email and password. Then inside of our try block, where we actually try to sign in our user, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to print logged in successfully. I'm going to copy the same print statement, and I'm just going to paste it here, and I'm going to say login error, and just command save this. Okay, so with that, we should be able to now actually pass in stuff to our login user with email and password and then get stuff done. So before we actually type something in here, what I'm going to do is actually just give you a quick round again on what the logic is doing right now. So as soon as we call the function, the status for our auth provider status variable is going to change to authenticating. Then we'll tell all of the listeners who are actually listening to this change notifier. And now we have one, if you remember, that is our login page, where we have the, if you go to the top of our build method, the change notifier provider. So now the login page UI is actually listening to our auth provider for changes. That's going to tell all of the listeners, oh, something changed inside of me. Then we're going to our try block, and we're going to try to sign in our user with the provided email and password. If we're successful with this, then we'll set the user variable to whatever user we get. Then we'll set the status to authenticated, and we'll print this login successfully. And then we're going to notify listeners again after everything is done, and just tell them that, oh, something inside of me changed, so just better update yourselves. And if this fails, then we'll just go to our catch block, and then all of this logic is going to happen. So with that, I'm just going to do command save, and let's actually type some stuff in. So I'm just going to type in Hussein@gmail.com, and I didn't register this user, so I'm just going to type in 123 login. I was going to say login error. If we didn't have this try catch block and we just did it without using a catch exception, then what would happen is your app would crash. But now if I just go up, fix my email to Hussein.Mustafa, something that I had registered in Firebase, use the correct password, and then click on login, it'll tell us logged in successfully. Okay, so how do we know that we logged in successfully? Well, we got a print statement, but now what I want to do is actually fix one of the issues, and that is when we click on the login button, we want this button to actually go into a loading state and actually not allow us to click it multiple times, because that's not good. So how do we do that? Luckily, because we're using the change notifier provider widget now, we have access to our auth class, and we can be notified everything something inside of our auth provider changes. So all we have to do is that we have to go to our login button, and then what we're going to do is we are going to check to see what the status of our auth provider is, and depending on the status, we'll either display a button or a progress indicator. So the way this is going to happen is that I am going to copy, so the way this is going to happen is that we're going to have a tertiary statement, and all we're going to do is that we're going to say that if the auth.status is not equal to or is equal to our auth status dot authenticating. So if our auth status dot status is equals to authenticating, then what we're going to do is that we are going to return something. If not, we are going to return our container. So what is the something that we're going to return? Well, what we're going to return is going to be a circular progress indicator. And I'm just going to do Alt-Shift-F to just reformat the code. So all this is going to do is it's going to go and check if the auth status is authenticating. If that is true, then it's going to show a circular progress indicator. If that's not true, then we'll show the actual login button. And then what I'm going to do is that I'm going to align, or I'm going to wrap the circular progress indicator inside of an align widget with an alignment attribute of alignment.center, and then the child for the center, and then the child for this is going to be the actual child, which is our circular progress indicator, which was accidentally removed by me. Then we can just end off our align, and then we can do Alt-Shift-F and just remove this, and then do Alt-Shift-F just to reformat the code and do Command Save. So now what's going to happen is that once we click, once the login user with email password is called, it's going to call this function, notify the listener. Since the status is now changed to authenticating, the button would also change to a loading. And then once all other logic is done, either the status would be authenticated or an error, and we'll get the notify listeners. So now if we do Command Save and we click on login, you're going to see that we get this useful loading icon while we're being authenticated. And as soon as that stuff is done, we get the login button back again. Okay, so with that, I'm going to end this video here since we were now successfully able to log in our user. In the next video, we are going to work towards creating another service that is going to allow us to show helpful error messages or success messages inside of our app in terms of some pop-ups that either come from the top or the bottom of the screen. So with that, I'm going to end this video here. I'm going to see you in the next video, and hope you guys are enjoying the course. And if you are, don't forget to rate my course, leave a review for it. And with that, I'm going to see you guys in the next one. Peace.